Hey everyone, it's Kaycienikole. Today we're going to go through a fun mini flow practice where the emphasis is going to be on opening up the outer hips, glutes, into the spine for some rotation, as well as working some standing balancing to get the stabilizing muscles nice and active. I would recommend having 2 blocks and a strap nearby, somewhere near the front of the mat, maybe somewhere slightly off to the side, but fully available for you. Now, this is a mini practice, so it's not going to have every single component of the class. We're going to still ease in and progress ourselves towards a specific posture, and then we'll wind it back down. So there's not going to be any shavasana. If you want to take it, I'll give you a point at the very end where you can hit pause and make it your own. Otherwise, just enjoy the practice as is. Let's go ahead and start off by standing at the top of the mat. Separate the feet about the width of the hips. Feel equal weight between the toes, the heels. Let your arms drop down to your sides, lifting the spine, and just let the shoulders relax down away from the ears. Close the eyes here and just feel yourself settle down into your roots, pressing down into the feet, and then rebound that energy up the spine all the way up through the crown of your head. Go ahead and just feel your natural, everyday breath. And we're going to start to build off of this, building more breath awareness and getting that breath-body connection. So exhale, let all of your breath out. And then through the nose, start to take a deep breath in, fill up from the belly, up to the ribs, all the way up into your chest and shoulders, holding at the top of the breath. And then open up the mouth, exhale, let it all the way out. Again, slow inhale through the nose, fill up from the bottom to the top, gradually expanding through the torso in all directions. Once you reach the top of the breath, hold it, pause, open up the mouth, exhale, release. Now let's do one more together. Breathe through the nose the whole way through. Slow inhale from the bottom to the top. Once you reach the top, a brief pause, maybe sip in a little more. And then keep the breath through the nose just as slowly. Exhale, melt the breath out from top back down to the bottom. Take one more on your own. Feel your own breathing rhythm. Sync up, slow and controlled. Lightly activate your ujjayi breath, that slight constriction down the back of the throat, which gives the breath a more audible tone, and you feel the vibrations of your breathing. So from here, let's go ahead and gently blink open through the eyes. We're going to get the body warmed up a little bit here. Let's inhale, arms up nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold, drape all the way down. Inhale, lengthen the spine halfway. Feel the heart pull forward, sit bones draw back. Planting the hands down to the ground. Let's go ahead and step back and drop the knees down to the ground. We're going to come into a modified plank. So if you're just in tabletop where your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are over the knees, walk the knees back a little bit or your hands forward until you can rock the hips forward, no longer stacked over the knees, and find one long line of energy from your knees to the crown of your head. Belly button hugs up and in. Take another deep breath in. Strong core foundation. Exhale, bend the elbows towards the side of the body as you lower all the way down to the ground. Try to get the chest and belly to touch at the same time. Untuck the toes here. 2 rounds of cobra, as high as it feels good for you. Inhale, lift your heart forward, up and open. Exhale, bring it right back down. One more. Inhale, lift up through your heart. Exhale, come right back down. Let's press back up onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes, find your way back into a downward facing dog. Now, once you're in downward dog, feel free to pedal out the legs, shift around a little bit, and just ease into the backside of your body. Couple breaths here. Now, inhale, come high up onto the toes. Look towards the hands and exhale, make your way to the top of the mat, landing in a forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine, feel the heart pull forward. And exhale, fold, release down. Inhale, come up to standing with a flat back. Reach up, arms stretch high over the head. Open up the chest at the top. And exhale, bring your hands back down together, heart center. Okay, we're going to do another one here. Arms reach up, take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold, hinging all the way over. Bend the knees as generously as you'd like. Inhale, lengthen the spine halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, big step back. You can stay on your toes or you can lower the knees, coming into your plank variation. Slightly rock forward and exhale, come all the way to the ground with control. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift up through your heart. Find your back bend. And then we'll make our way back into downward facing dog. Transition how it feels good for you. Couple breaths here. You can continue to establish movement, or you can stay nice and still. Inhale, come high up onto the toes. Exhale, look to the hands, step or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, breath in, heart pulls forward. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to standing. Reach up nice and tall. Open up the chest, lifting. And draw your hands together, heart center. Okay, we're going to open up a little bit through the feet just to get prepared for some stabilizing muscles. We're going to activate them a little bit more as we move through the practice. So hands at heart center, find a focal point on the ground in front of you. Slowly feel weight shift towards the toes as you begin to elevate the heels. Feel any of the wobbles here. Arms can stretch high up over the head. Take another breath. And then try to keep the heels lifted. You can lower them at any time. Exhale, slowly hinge forward at the hips. Hands start to drape down to blocks or to the ground. Folding over. And then melt the heels down to the ground. Equal weight between heels and toes. Now you should be at the top of the mat. If you're not, migrate forward a little bit. Inhale, lengthen out through your spine. As you lengthen the spine, let's go ahead and grab our blocks. Take your blocks up to the highest point. Stack the blocks right underneath your shoulders. Feet separate about the width of the hips. We're going to feel weight lean into the right hand. Left hand to your left waist. You're going to bend deeply into your right knee, nice and straight and strong through the left leg as best as you can. Now lengthen, take a breath in, spine grows taller. And then exhale, gently rotate your ribs and chest, open to that left side. Try to stack the shoulders if you can. Option to stay here. Maybe the left arm reaches up. You can even flip the palm back and drop it into your lower back for a half bind if that feels good. But feel that opening down the side of your left leg. One more breath. If you do have a half bind, take the top arm back up. Flip the palm back around and exhale, drop your left hand down to that left block. Let's straighten the legs out as much as it feels good. Now bend deeply into your left knee. Right hand slides to your right hip. Long spine on the breath in. Press down into the block. Open up your ribs and chest to that right side. Maybe the right arm reaches up. Maybe flip the palm back to create internal rotation on the shoulder. Maybe drop it into your lower back for a half bind. Couple breaths here. Now, if you are bound, let's slowly reach the right hand up, flip the palm back around, exhale, take the top hand down to the block. Both hands to the blocks here. Adjust them as needed. You're going to lengthen the spine. And we're going to take a big step back with the left foot. As you step back with the left foot, you can adjust your hands as much as you need to for stabilizing. Now, we're going to use the back foot. We're going to swivel on it a little bit, and we're also going to change which hand we're leaning weight into. So feel weight lean into your left hand, should be directly below the shoulder. And then open up your ribs and chest. Right arm reaches up. Nice little twist. And then exhale, drop your right hand down to the right block. Lean towards your right hand directly underneath the shoulder. We're going to open up the back foot 90 degrees, spinning the heel down. Open up ribs and chest. Left arm reaches up. Exhale, take the left hand down. You're going to lift the heel, pivot on the back foot. Inhale, right arm reaches up, grounding through the left hand to the block. Exhale, right hand drops back down. Open up the back foot 90 degrees. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Now from here, we're going to stay, press to the feet. Inhale, come up into warrior two. Settle into that front leg. We're opening up the hips here. We're just going to be here for one more breath. Now inhale, straighten out the front leg. We're going to work towards triangle pose. Reach forward as far as you can. Right hand is going to drop down either to your shin, a block, or to the ground. Open up your ribs and chest. Try to stack the shoulders. Maybe left arm extends up directly towards the ceiling, or at least extending out from the shoulder. You can gaze where it feels right for your neck. Maybe that's up towards the top hand, to the side, or down towards the floor. One more breath. Now looking down, bend your front knee and take your hands down to the blocks again. Now we're going to lift that back heel, pivot on the foot. Now we're going to take the feet and separate them so they're the width of your hips. So right foot lines up with your right hip. Back foot lines up with your left hip. So you're stepping on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. Back foot, 45-degree angle. So we're going to set the heel down, toes slightly spun forward, which helps us square our hips forward. And then we're going to straighten out the front leg. Now, blocks up on their highest point helps to have space when you straighten out the front leg, keeping it nice and straight, spine nice and long. Now, weight into your left hand. Keep it underneath the shoulder up onto the block. Right hand to your right hip. Pull the right hip back. Feel that already opening up the side of the leg? Great. You can stay here, maybe slightly open up your ribs and chest to the right side. Don't worry about coming into a really deep twist. Don't worry about reaching the right hand up. Focus the right hand instead on pulling the right hip towards the back of your mat as you gently peel your chest open to that right side. Take another breath or so. Now exhale, lower the right hand back down to the block. You're going to start to bend the front knee just enough to walk your hands forward. Take the blocks with you. And then you're going to lift the back leg parallel with the ground. Your standing leg is straight and strong, pressing into the blocks to lift your torso. See if you can get light on your hands. See if you can come up onto your fingertips. Bring weight into that standing leg. Warrior three, we're going to try to bring one hand to your heart. If you can, bring both hands to your heart. Take another breath. Now drive through the foot. We're going to come up to standing. Come up however you need to and feel your left knee start to pull up towards the chest. We're going to come into a balancing figure four position. So cross your ankle over the right knee and then bend your right knee and start to sink your hips back like you're sitting into a chair. You can keep your hands at your heart, which is going to be more balanced and stabilizing. Or you can lower your hands down to blocks or to the ground, sinking your hips down, which turns it into more of a stretch. The option is yours. We are going to be working stabilizing, so if you can keep hands to your heart, great. But either way is just fine. One more breath. Now everyone, lower the hands down to the blocks. All you're going to do is straighten your standing leg and then let your left foot slide down until it's crossed over the right. So left leg is crossed over the right. Square the hips, long spine, and exhale, folding over the legs. You can keep your hands on blocks. You can lower them down to the ground. You can walk your hands side to side, whatever feels better for you. Give yourself a couple more breaths. All right. Now, from here, Long spine. Let's bring the hands back up onto the blocks. I want you to bring weight into your back foot, your right foot. So you're going to bend your front knee and swivel the foot over to the side. So now your left leg is underneath your left hip. Right leg is straight and strong. The weight is in your right foot. Now we're going to slowly take the left leg, kick it back behind you, back into that modified warrior 3. Weight into your right hand, pushing into the block. Left hand to your left hip. You can also take your right hand down to the ground if you have space to do so while keeping your standing leg straight. You're going to start to open up your hips. Try to stack your left hip on top of the right. Open up your ribs. Open up your chest. Maybe your left arm reaches up, half moon. Deep breath here. Now, you can either keep the top hand lifted, which is going to be a lot more stabilizing, okay? Otherwise, you can take that top hand down for a little more grounding and control, okay? I'm going to keep the hand lifted just so you see, but your hand can always come down if you want. Now, your lifted leg, you're going to start to kick it towards the front of the mat. Kick it forward. Keep it lifted. And then nice and slow, start to slowly lower it down to meet the right. Left hand comes down if it's not there already. Long spine, deep breath in. You can set the blocks off to the sides. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank position, or modified plank by dropping the knees. Rock forward. Exhale, lower all the way down or halfway down, your choice. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift up through your heart. Heart's lifted, shoulders softened. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back. Now, inhale, come high up onto the toes. Exhale, look forward, step, hop, walk, however you want to get to the top of the mat. Lengthen the spine. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach up, drive through the heels. Heart lifts. Exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Okay, we're going to work into that other side now. Arms reach up, deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Long spine, take a deep breath in. Grab your blocks. Take them up to their highest point. This time we're going to step back with the right foot. As that right foot steps back, you can adjust your hands, walk them directly underneath your shoulders. Bring weight into your right hand, press down into the block, down into the ground. Inhale, open up your ribs and chest. Left arm reaches up. Exhale, take the left hand down. Bring the block underneath the shoulder, lean weight. Open your back foot 90 degrees. Inhale, your right arm reaches up. Exhale, right hand comes down. Lift that back heel, pivot. Inhale, left arm reaches back up. Come into that twist. Exhale, top hand comes back down. Open up the back foot 90 degrees. Inhale, right arm reaches back up. Now from here, press to the feet. Inhale, come up. Warrior 2. Feel free to separate your feet a little wider. Whatever helps you to anchor in. One more breath here. Taking it to triangle pose. Let's inhale, straighten out the front leg. Reach forward. Left hand drops down. Shin blocker to the ground. Open up your ribs and chest. Right arm reaches up. Find your breath. One more deep breath in. And exhale, bend that front knee, hands come back down to your blocks. Pivot on your back foot, lifting the heel. Separate your feet like railroad tracks, the width of your hips. Then from here, we're going to take the back foot, bring it to a 45-degree angle so you can set the heel down, keep the hips squared, okay? As the hips square, we're going to bring weight into the right hand, straighten out the front leg, and slide your left hand to your left hip. Pull the hip back as you lengthen the spine with the breath in. Press down into the block, open up your ribs and chest. to that left side. Breathe here. Once again, it's not about the deepest twist of your life. It's not about reaching that hand up. We're really localizing that sensation to the outer hip. So keep pulling the left hip back and lengthening the spine forward. Let's take one more breath here. Now slowly lower that left hand back down. We're going to bend the front knee a little bit here. We're going to walk the hands and the blocks forward until the back leg can lift up parallel with the ground. Now, standing legs straight, strong, and supportive. Start to take weight out of your hands, come up onto your fingertips, lifting your chest away from the ground. Try to bring one hand to your heart. Try to bring both. One more breath. Now drive through your standing leg, come up to standing. Feel your right knee start to lift up towards your chest. Balancing figure 4, cross your ankle over the left knee, bend your left knee and sit back into that chair. Once again, hands can stay at heart, working more stabilizing, or hands can lower down to your blocks for a little more support, a little more stretching. Couple more breaths wherever you are. And then lower the hands down to the blocks. You're going to straighten that standing leg and then let the right foot slide down until right leg is crossed over the left. Long spine, breath in, and exhale, folding over. Hands can stay on the blocks or come down to the ground depending on your flexibility here. Maybe add some side to side movements, couple breaths. If you are swaying, sway yourself back to center. Begin to lengthen out through your spine. Hands back up onto the blocks directly underneath your shoulders. With that spine long, weight's going to come into your back foot, your left foot. Your right foot, bend the knee, wiggle the foot around to that right side. Slowly extend your right leg back behind you. And then right hand to your right hip. Open up the hips, open up the ribs, open up the chest. Maybe the right arm floats up. Coming into your half moon position. Couple breaths here, nice and strong. Now you can either keep your top hand up for an extra challenge or lower it down for a little added stability. You're going to take your lifted leg, kick it out to the right side. Try to keep it as lifted as you can. Once it's out to the side, nice and slow, start to lower it down to meet the left. Forward fold, you can set the blocks off to the side. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank position or modified plank. Rock forward, and exhale, lower half or all the way down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift up through your heart. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back. Let's walk the hands to the feet, come all the way to the back of the mat. Lengthen the spine, deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to standing. Reach up tall, open up the chest. And then take your hands together, heart center. Okay, we're going to work a little bit more stabilizing. And then when we get to the top, we'll work one last intensifying posture. So arms can either reach up or slightly out. I like out because I feel like I have a little bit more balance here. Standing at the back of the mat, you're going to slowly find your arm positioning, find a focal point, begin to lift up through your heels. It's okay to lose your balance. Take your right foot and just begin to take a little step forward. Little step. Feel weight start to transfer into your right foot. Back foot gets nice and light. With control. Small steps. Step the back foot in front. Slowly transfer your weight into the front foot. Back foot gets light. With control, small step. Back foot steps in front. Now continue on your own, one step at a time, slow. Try not to just use speed and momentum. I want you to use control, connection. Once you make your way to the top of the mat, feet side by side, heels lift up, and then set the heels down, drop the arms, shake it out. Okay, you can set your blocks out of your way. The next one we're gonna do is going to be a balancing twist, but it also has the option to take it into an extension of your leg. So I'm gonna show you some options. I'm gonna show you first the options without the strap, and I'll show you with the strap, which can be extremely helpful to create more space. So what we're gonna do, you don't have to worry about doing it right this second. I'll guide you through just so you can see. As a knee comes towards my chest, I'll have the option of either crossing my opposite hand to the knee or to the outer foot, okay? Now, if it's just at the knee, I'm gonna work on twisting here. If I have the outer foot, I'm gonna work on trying to extend my leg and then twist, okay? So it's either bent knee or straightened, okay? The straightening of the leg is what helps to intensify that opening through the outside of the leg into the IT band, okay? Now, if you're trying to extend the leg and it's forcing your spine to curl over, we lose the integrity of the posture. You can either come back up with a straight spine, just keeping the hand at the knee, or you can use a strap. If you're using the strap comes around the foot, and then we take the same steps. When we're lifting the knee, we walk the hands down the inside, okay? And then you're holding on with the opposite hand close to the foot. And then when you extend the leg, you can let the strap slide through the hand as much as you need to until you find that right distance where you can still keep the spine tall and then rotate from there, okay? If you want to use a wall for extra stability, that's also a good option, okay? Do what feels right for you. Now, I'm going to cue it. I'm going to cue the strap as an option, but I'm not going to be using the strap. So if you're using it at home, great. I'll still be walking you through the process. Okay, weight into your right leg. Find a focal point. Bend your left knee. If you have a strap, walk your hands down the inside of the leg, down the strap, okay? Now your right hand is either going to hold onto the strap close to the foot. It can hold the outer knee, or hold on to the outside of your foot, pinky toe edge. Left hand to your left hip. Now, if you're going to keep the knee bent, stay. If you're going to straighten the leg out, straighten it out. Maybe let the hand slide through the strap until the foot can fully reach forwards. Legs nice and straight, okay? Wherever you are, whether knee is bent or leg is straight, lift your spine, breath in, and then exhale, twist yourself open to that left side. Maybe give little focal point shifts. Little changes in your focal point can help with the movement. Take another breath. Focal point comes back around to center. Bend the knee, release the foot, and set the foot down, shake everything out. Okay. Talking and doing at the same time, I feel it. Okay. Now, if you're going to use a strap, take the strap under your right foot. Weight comes into your left foot. Bend your right knee. Hands can walk down the strap to the inside of the leg. Left hand either holds onto the strap, outer knee, or outer foot. Right hand to your right hip. Concentrate on your focal point. You can either keep the knee bent or straighten it out. Maybe let the strap slide through your hand. Wherever you are, long spine, breath in. Exhale, twist to the right. Maybe slowly shift your focal point. Stabilize. Couple breaths. Focal point comes back around. Bend the knee if it's straightened. Release, set the foot down. If you have a strap, set it out of your way. Shake everything out. Arms reach up, take a deep breath in. And exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Maybe go through one final vinyasa. We're going to meet in child's pose when you're done. If you want that vinyasa, you lower down, high plank to low, lifting the heart on the inhale. And then we'll meet in child's pose when you're ready. Hips sink in the direction of the heels, spine relaxes forward and down, head drops. Hands can be forward, hands can be stacked underneath your head, or relax down to your sides. Slow your breath down here. If this is not restful for you, any other comfortable position is just fine. Let's give ourselves at least a few more grounding breaths. Okay, when you're ready, slowly come up. Make your way into any comfortable seated position of your choosing. Now, if you want to add in anything else in your practice, now's a good time to hit pause and finish your practice in the way that feels best for you. Otherwise, we're going to keep this energy for whatever comes next. Okay, so spine up nice and tall. If you want to close out with me, hands together at the heart center, close the eyes. Release your breath all the way out. And then take a deep breath in, fill up from the bottom to the top. Open up the mouth, exhale, let it out. Let's do one more just like that. Slow inhale from the bottom to the top. Open up your mouth, release. Now one more through the nose the whole way. Ujjayi breath. Slow inhale through the nose, nice and audible. And then through the nose, slow intentional breath out. Take one more of those on your own. Thank your bodies for all that they do for you. Being grateful for the ability to be here for our practice, to even be able to roll out our mats and show up for ourselves is huge, huge blessing. So thank your bodies for all that they do for you and for wherever you are in your practice. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you today. Open up your eyes whenever you're ready. So really invigorating flow, but condensed into a short time so you can get that energy up, you can get that breath body awareness without taking too much of your day. So I would love to hear your thoughts on the practice. I know it wasn't an easy practice, but a way for us to touch in, find a little bit of that strength building component, as well as getting a nice opening into the body, stabilizing nice and strong. Go ahead and share your feedback in the comments or share with a friend if you think would enjoy. I am here at the beautiful Elevate Community Yoga filming this class for you today. So if you're ever in the Modesto, California area, check it out. And I'm very much looking forward to practicing with you again soon. Thanks so much.